Hello everyone and welcome to our show. Today we discuss about digital marketing secrets and tips how you can get high results. I'm excited to discuss this topic with Clint Hankinson. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Yeah, it's a long time. I remember our first podcast, when you shared a lot of valuable insights. I love it. I love learning more about that. Before we start, just remind about yourself, experience, background with someone who can meet you first time.
Sure. Yeah, so I've got over 20 years experience in digital marketing, and it's a wide range of different types of companies. I've worked with small to medium-sized businesses, agencies, nonprofits primarily. I've done a lot of work with nonprofits, higher education. So a lot of my career has been as a one-man marketing show, and I know a lot of
Mhm.
marketers are in that same place. So hopefully, I can speak to some things that'll help them.
Okay, yeah, nice. Digital marketing is huge. It's a big niche. We have SEO, social media marketing, content marketing, many directions, branding, PR. Can you tell how to find the right direction when we have limited resources?
Well, yeah, limited resources is something I'm very familiar with. It's interesting because digital marketing, like many things in life, basically are just changing so fast. They're growing, they're evolving. Something that worked, 5 years ago doesn't work anymore. So it's difficult, frankly, to keep up with everything. I think one of the things that I really believe is that you need to just kind of start small and do a few things really well versus try and boil the ocean, if you will. Try to do too many things at the same time. So focusing in on specific areas, and it's mainly, you think of it mainly about telling your story. So what is my business? Who is my audience? What am I doing to solve their problem? So it's those types of things. And so how do I tell that story in a creative way, in a way that is interesting to people, and people recognize that I can provide the answer to their problem. Um, so that's what I've tried to do in the different places that I've gone. And yeah, I just you know, like in social media, for example, you could go 10 to 20 different websites and try and do all of those well. But when you're a one-man show, when you have very limited resources, maybe you just do two. Maybe you pick two of where your audience spends most of their time and really focus on those, build relationships, grow your followers, and really do those well. And then as you're able, expand out from there.
Mhm. Love it, love it. Yeah, I think focusing is the most important thing ever, especially in digital marketing because jack of all trades are everywhere, who are trying to achieve success at any platform, any methods. And especially it's interesting, my 11 years old son, he loves soccer and he always explains me about Neymar, Lionel Messi, Cristiano Ronaldo, but he can see only how they play, but he doesn't see how they train. I'm
Mm.
pretty sure that they train so hard. They have this experience. They deserved to get these positions, and I think it's the same with digital marketing. When you're focusing on one thing to be better than anybody else, yeah, you can achieve high results. Can you tell how to find the right channel in digital marketing? For example, if I don't know, I have a good product, I wanna jump on this field, but I don't know where to start.
Yeah, yeah. So it's really all about your audience. Your prospective customers. Where do they hang out? Where do they spend time? So the website that's incredibly hot, growing fast now is TikTok, heavy on video content, and I mean, really, all ages hang out there, but it's primarily a great audience for younger generations, for younger people. So if that's your audience, then you need to strongly consider that. LinkedIn, if you're business to business, or if you're mainly trying to reach professionals, kind of in a professional sort of a service or product, then that's a great place to look for them. But it's all about where your audience is, where they spend time, and that can really help you to narrow down that list and really target that one channel or two or three, maybe at the most. But yeah, I mean, it's really just about who you're trying to reach spends their time.
Yeah, valuable. But sometimes, yeah, it's the case to find where your audience is. But for me, for example, my audience can be everywhere: on TikTok, on Facebook, on Instagram, even Pinterest. But I think for me personally, I like to jump on the field where I understand and enjoy my time. Because, for example, if my audience on Pinterest, but I don't know anything about Pinterest, so probably it's not my direction. For example, my wife loves Instagram. She can spend 30 minutes a day, to check out her feed. But if you ask me to find customers on Instagram, no way, it's not my direction.
Right.
So yeah, I think it's important to find where your audience is, but it's important to find the right message. Can you tell how to create content for specific social media or Google or any place with the right message?
Yeah. And you just to hit on that point you made, it's an excellent point. So it's not just about where your audience spends time, it's what you really connect with personally.
Yeah.
So I love LinkedIn. That's just, I've really connected with people there, and I spend more time on that platform than any others. But yeah, but the content, I like to think of creating content as basically you're just trying to develop stuff to help people, to help your audience. So maybe you're just trying to educate them on a type of service or whatever, a field that you work in, that you provide solutions in. So you're just trying to provide education to them. You can pull out maybe some of your team members and and kind of give their stories about why they're serving on your team, what their vision is, and kind of use that to build relationships with prospective customers. You can just provide all sorts of tools, of just things to help your audience solve a problem. So yeah, I mean, so those are just kind of, I mean, that's sort of, for me, the mindset that I go into it. And so with the company that I'm working with right now, it's very cool. It's a technology nonprofit, and it's specific to the state of Arkansas in the U.S. And we're all about workforce development. And so trying to encourage more people to get into the technology field, like software developers, cybersecurity, people like that. So I'm developing content not only for people who might get into the workforce, but also for companies, for employers who would hire these people. So we talk about all these different types of things, and maybe we'll feature an employer story. Here's a success story that one company has. Here's maybe another company that's doing some great things in technology, or here's a person who we helped to get a job in technology, and they were career changers. They changed careers. They were struggling in one area. We helped them to learn how to update their resume, to interview, and all these things. So all that type of information I can post, I can share to encourage other people and to help other people know who I am and what my organization does. So that's really the mindset that I think every business person should have when they're developing content: educating, helping, encouraging, and then, and of course, providing solutions.
Love it, love it. Can you tell more about creating content? Because I often see when businesses are looking for ways how to create viral content. But I'm not sure it's a good idea if you start from scratch. It takes time to learn it. And sometimes viral content doesn't sell. It's more important to cover your target audience who will buy your products. How to find the right way of creating content according to your experience?
Yeah, so it is kind of funny when people want viral content. I mean, most people do. You want your stuff to be in front of the largest audience, but it's like impossible to say, okay, I'm going to create something that'll go viral, tomorrow or whatever. All you can do, I mean, you can't ever predict that. All you can do is create something that has the best chance of reaching the broadest audience. And it's stuff like, is it helpful? Will somebody find it valuable? In some aspect of their life, will it benefit them? One thing is it entertaining? So many companies put out boring stuff, and we do it because one, we just feel like we need to get stuff out there. We need to post content, and maybe we don't have time. We don't put in the creative energy to really make it as good as it could be or should be. And so a lot of stuff is just boring, and people are going to ignore that. With so much media, so much entertainment around us, we tend to drift towards something that is engaging and that is entertaining. So, I mean, these are some things that need to be kind of infused in that content. So just some
Yeah.
thoughts there.
How to help companies who have no time to create content? Yeah, I know some companies, the huge companies, by the way, but they have no time or even experience to create content because they need to compete with their competitors now to develop innovate products. How to find the right copywriters or content creators who can help them, because I think any content creators need to understand the niche. For example, let's imagine weight loss supplements. If you don't understand weight loss supplements, you can't create awesome content. What do you think about that?
Right. Well, that's very true. I mean, you need the expertise, that's for sure. And of course, large companies fortunately can tend to hire somebody that has that expertise if needed. Smaller businesses, you can go to sources like Writer Access and some of these others that you can kind of buy content in small pieces from, some of these places source, writers, designers, and you're able to get inexpensive content created through those. So those are very helpful. Tools like Canva for design, those are very helpful for inexpensive, fairly easy to create content. Excuse me. So yeah, places like that, and I frankly use a lot of that. But one thing that sometimes companies may overlook is just a simple act of repurposing content. So you can, like this interview, we could take this interview, and after the fact, you could maybe do video clips. You could create probably 10, 20 different video clips to share, 10 different posts. You could create some visuals, put a comment with an image. You could create a slideshow with tips and things that we've discussed. So you could take one piece of content and break it up into 30, 40, 50 or more. So that's something that every company needs to take advantage of, because it just makes it a lot easier, more efficient to create a lot of content, get your voice and your message out there. So yeah, repurposing is huge.
Yeah, love it, love it. You mentioned about building relationships with customers. Can you tell more about that? How or provide technical aspect advice how to build these relationships?
Yeah. Well, I mean, social media makes it so easy, so easy
Hmm.
now. And, I think it starts with creating some content that's helpful, that's helpful to your audience and pushing it out there. And as you get some engagement, you interact. Uh, you know, there are a lot of tools to automatically publish social media messages and such. I've used this before. I really don't like to use them so much now. And actually, for all of my posts, I will go in and do those live, and I'll engage with any kind of comments, any kind of likes. I'm actively kind of responding, and yeah, that takes time. I mean, that takes time out of the day. But that's a big way to build those relationships. So if somebody
Hmm.
comments on something I've posted, well, I can immediately go in and respond, and now I've started a relationship with that person, and
Hmm.
and we can go back and forth. And if, as I'm spending a little bit of time on the platform, and they share a post or they leave a message, I can go in and respond to that. Um, and and ideally, those are going to be your prospects. People who are most likely to become your customers and your advocates for your business. So I mean, for me, it's as simple as starting with that. It's just engaging with people as they engage with you, and creating that content that's helpful. If that makes sense.
Hmm.
So
Yeah, got it, got it. Yeah, totally makes sense. Okay, I have the question about finding the right strategy. Can you tell, for example, I often see when webmasters projects, they usually check out their competitors, they can see their strong sides and wanna overcome it. But sometimes we need, not sometimes, I think always we need to consider our unique selling proposition because businesses are different, different strong sides. And for example, if they are good with filming, why I need try to do it if I'm not good with that? If my strong side is writing, or for example, if I know some niches or topics, I can jump on that. Can you tell how to consider unique selling proposition while creating content?
yeah, yeah. So of course your USP there is going to be pretty inherent in who you are and what you do. But you do need to have a pretty good grasp of that um, before you before you even create your business and start selling, start providing solutions, because that will help you to differentiate yourself over others. But yeah, in your content strategy can feed off of that. Maybe let's say if you're let's say if you're an accountant and maybe you were at one point a comedian or something like that.
Mhm.
Maybe you've got this kind of funny side of your personality to where you're funny and you're humorous and you love to infuse humor into accounting, which is typically a very dry and kind of boring
Mhm.
field. So maybe well, likely your content is going to have a lot of humor infused in it, and it's going to work. It's going to fit you because that's your personality, that's your brand. Some big stuffy law firm or accounting firm tried to do that, it might not make as much sense if none of their other stuff was humorous. But that would be one way to kind of infuse that. So maybe it's personality like that, or maybe it's a certain product, a certain solution that you offer that's different.
Mhm.
You're going to want that to drive your content, your content strategy, because the more you communicate your USP, the more people are going to get it, and the more it's going to resonate, and they're going to remember you, and they're going to come to you when they're looking to buy.
Yeah, awesome. What do you think? How to differentiate? I mean, like the size of the companies. For example, I can see on your profile that you can help small businesses, mid-sized businesses, non-profits. Can you tell how you differentiate them while creating content strategy?
Let's see. So yeah, I mean, every business kind of has its own need, for business strategy, content strategy. So like a nonprofit, you're going to be communicating through your content about your mission, what you're doing. You'll communicate about your partners, who's helping you, those that you're serving, that you're making their lives better. And you're probably going to have some aspect of fundraising, of trying to raise funds. So a lot of that stuff will be communicated through your content. Small businesses, it's you're communicating to the customer about their need and about how you solve their need with your product, with your service. So everybody does have their own need, and it's customized for them. I think you just, and what I've done, you just take each one as it is, and you figure out, what the goal is, what you're trying to accomplish, and build a strategy around that.
Yeah, got it. Valuable. I want to ask about how to learn customers. For example, let me share from my experience. I often see when companies rely a lot on tools. They open SEMrush, Ahrefs, many other recognizable tools. They search for their competitors, analyze their metrics, and get the average data, or, for example, open online studies. But sometimes it's not the case, because, for example, I check out a few marketing books that CEOs of big companies can go to the customers, spend time with them, learn their pains. They can open forums, social media, anything, to find what kind of problems they have, and think how these products can help to decide their problems. Can you tell how to learn customers today, for example, and find the balance between tools, studies, and communicating directly with customers?
Yeah. It's funny. There are a billion tools out there.
Yeah, a lot. I know.
That do everything. I get emails about them all, it seems like. I think for me, is kind of that one man, one person marketer at a group with a very small budget. It kind of solves a lot of that problem for you, because a lot of these tools you can't even afford, you can't even use. So I don't know. I've had the opportunity to use a bunch of different tools, and I could spend all my time just learning these and trying to use these and doing, the research, all that stuff. And to a certain degree, it's important. I think the size that your organization is, can kind of dictate how much you can do and how deep you can go, because you can go super duper deep into marketing, like any field. But when you're one person, two people, whatever, you just don't have the bandwidth to go that deep. So, I think you start by just being human, and by being real and authentic, and just talking to your customers, talking to your team, as far as what they've learned and what they've discovered, and interacting with customers and all that. But it really just comes down to talking with your customers, understanding, what they're going through. And that can be just at a personal level. I mean, you could get on the phone, talk to them, you could interact with them on social media, all these things. But I think ultimately you just want to start simple. Just start really simple with their understand your audience, and kind of go from there. And maybe it's some social media tools that you can put in to kind of help you share more content and all of that, design tools or whatever. But I mean, I've spent some time, researching competition, but I think you really need to focus on who you want to buy from you. I think that needs to be your focus. Provide them solutions, provide them answers, and you may not have to worry so much about your competition. Just focus on your customer and go from there.
Yeah, Jeff Bezos mentioned a few times that Amazon pays more attention to customers. Yeah, like customer orientation, but many businesses think more about their competitors, how to steal their sales. So yeah, I
well,
agree with
Amazon's a great example because they are crazy about the customer, and they're so focused on how to make your life better, how to make everything more of a pleasurable experience to buy from them. And I mean, I've been an Amazon customer for a good while, and enjoy their service. And so many other companies are building that type of service too, and it's paying off. But I mean, yeah, you can never go wrong just by serving your customer extremely well.
Yeah, I agree with that. Can you explain me one popular quote? Don't sell your products, sell your stories. What do you think about that?
Yeah, it kind of goes down to or comes back to the Simon Sinek, the start with why. It's kind of starting with with why you're doing what you're doing, and then bringing that back to, okay, this is the product. Yeah, I mean, I think it's great because people do buy with their emotions. They use their feelings or emotions to make a decision, a purchasing decision, but then they use their logic and their reasoning to basically justify why they made the emotional decision. So it's kind of funny. It's sort of backwards the way some people might think of it, but we're emotional beings, and that's how we make decisions. But yeah, I like that quote. I think that's a great quote.
Yeah, 75% of all decisions are emotions. And I remember when I check out new advertisement from BMW, they don't share about specifics about their features, because all cars have it. All cars have their features, but they show a happy man who can drive a nice looking car, and it provokes the feeling that you can be this man, you can enjoy life like this. And I remember when Apple, Tim Cook, on his presentation, shared about Apple Watch, how Apple Watch can help, free people, on their common life. And after that, I bought Apple Watch, and for me, it costs 3 times more because I need to buy to my son, to my wife, to everyone in my family. Yeah. Any Apple products, they know how to sell me, and I can't be selfish. I need, if I have it, that means everyone needs
That's
to have
right.
it in my family. Yeah. What do you think about AI tools? Can we consider them to create content, or they are not ready today? What do you think?
Ooh, I really haven't used any yet because I create mine all just myself. So I don't know. I mean, I'm hesitant to. I guess it depends on the type of content you're trying to create. Maybe if it's real technical, I could see using that. But I don't know. I think content needs to have personality. Needs to have your personality in there, and maybe that's there. I haven't haven't seen it. I haven't looked at it, but yeah, I mean, I could see at some point it's just going to continue to develop and grow. But yeah, I just don't know how good it is yet. But until then, I'm
Yeah.
going to keep creating it myself.
Yeah, I agree with you. Know, I check out a few great popular AI tools, and I think it depends on goals because I still I can use them. But if I need to create a lot of like mediocre content, because in SEO we have some topics, we have pages, especially for websites with 100,000 pages, and I can see it's low competition. Why not? Yeah, if you can create AI content for these pages to cover all these pages to get a lot of traffic, that's okay. But if you wanna create really high quality content for one page and or to pitch your content or write guest posts for recognizable websites, don't use them because they're not ready yet. Yeah, probably in the future, not today. Yeah,
Sure.
I think it depends. Okay, I have the question about the future of digital marketing. What kind of future can you predict today? Because we have many things are coming like metaverse, augmented reality, virtual reality. What do you think where marketers need to pay attention today to cover this future?
Yeah. Whew. Well, and everything does kind of build upon itself,
Mhm.
So yeah, I think the ones that you mentioned are, I mean, they're important now, but they're just going to grow, grow in importance. Um, uh, Virtual reality, augmented reality, for sure. Um, just because as that continues to develop, of course, the price is going to come down, so even small businesses will be able to use these tools more and create more really engaging experiences. so
Mhm.
so if as a one person business, a very small business, you can have a tool like a augmented reality or virtual where you maybe create this atmosphere that people can actually be a part of, of your business and experience what you want them to experience. Is going to be that'll be really cool. Um,
Mhm.
so yeah, I mean, gaming has been big and will always be big. So gamification, of products and services is something to stay on top of. Um, yeah, I mean, it's interesting. My head spins just seeing all the things that are changing and growing, and it'll be fascinating to see what we have in 10 years. But yeah, I think it will all be around content, around experiences, around providing these great solutions to make people's lives better. So,
Yeah, nice,
excuse
nice.
me.
Well explained. Yeah. Uh, I wanna ask you about getting education in marketing field today because I have some audience. They wanna jump on this field to earn money, to be an expert in one day. If you started from scratch without any skills, knowledge, experience, what would you do today to learn digital marketing?
Well, I mean, that's the beauty of like YouTube. I mean, you could probably get a master's degree just watching YouTube. I would, excuse me, I would look at YouTube videos. I would go to Google and earn some of the certifications, Google
Mhm.
Ads, SEO, Google Analytics, areas like that. I think Facebook is still important. Um, all these different platforms that offer, a lot of them offer certifications and just and training videos, and some of that you might pay a little bit for, but most of it's free. So that's what I would do. I would just go to these
Mhm.
places and start watching videos. I mean, LinkedIn, if you're kind of a paid member on LinkedIn. You get LinkedIn Learning, and you can have access to a ton of stuff there. So yeah, you can just self-learn and just teach yourself so much. So that's where I would start.
Nice. Yeah, I couldn't agree more with that, because when someone is asking me how to learn something, Google. Go to Google,
Yeah.
go to YouTube. Two places you can find anything. All what you need to do, just spend some time to learn. And I often tell my clients to learn a little bit about SEO. You can be expert for a few days, but if you spend a few days by learning SEO, you can understand what kind of traffic you want to get, how to satisfy your customers, how to create high quality content. I understand that it takes time to learn a lot deeply, but to understand what kind of results you want to get, just to understand about this topic. I want to ask you three things that all businesses must have today in digital marketing.
What they all must have. Well, I would say, one, I would say a great website that's, you talk about SEO, that's optimized for search, that is set up to where people can find them and is easy to use, and all of that stuff. I think you need to be on some of these key social platforms, depending on where your audience spends the most time, and where you can reach them, whatever those platforms may be. But I think those are critical. And not just being there, but engaging there, interacting there. I would say it's not necessary, but if you're really trying to reach a bigger audience, you may need to think about spending a little bit of money on those platforms for advertising, because they really kind of backed away on organic, on sharing your content for free. So to really get more of an impact on your content, you may need to spend a little bit of money. So those, and I think email is still big. And I don't know if that will ever, that will ever really die, because you need an email address for everything, for your identity, basically. So, I don't know. So I think as a foundation, as kind of a basic, I would go after those.
Yeah, agree totally about website, because it's your face, it's your place to speak with your customers, just to share your website. And can you tell how to find, for example, we have two channels, paid and organic reach. How to choose one if we have limited resources? Because people are confused what to use. It's better to spend budget with paid marketing or jump on organic reach. What do you think?
Well, so I think you start with organic, because you can do that. Other than your own time, you can do that for free. You don't have to pay for those paid ads, anything like that. You can create your own content, develop it, share it, post it, all that stuff. So I think you start with that, and fortunately, paid social, is really cheap. You can spend $5 a day or whatever, and do that for a couple weeks, take a break, do it for another couple weeks, take a break, however. So it's really not too expensive to at least start the process. But yeah, I think, I'm big on organic, because you can build an audience, you can build a business. A lot of companies have, just on the free side, basically just doing it organically.
Yeah. I think all channels work well. It's up of your goals or strong sides. Because paid marketing works well, organic reach works well. So yeah, just to spend more time to learn about that and to use your strong side. Clint, it's a big pleasure to get on my show again. You shared always valuable insights. Tell our audience how they can reach out to you, learn more about you, follow you.
Well, thank you. It's always a pleasure. Always a pleasure to get to talk to you, and I appreciate it. I'm on LinkedIn. My name's Clint Hankinson, so you can just find me on LinkedIn. My website, I'm with the Arkansas Center for Data Sciences, and our website is acds.co.co. So find me there. But yeah, I mean, I always love engaging and kind of talking about this topic. So yeah, I'm happy to interact.
Okay, guys, you can find all these links in the description below. Listen us on Apple, Google, Spotify. Thanks again for your time. A big pleasure. Always back, welcome back anytime. And guys, see you next time.
Thanks.